Welcome to TV3. On this week's episode, we'll be covering the color gold, everyone's favorite Gundam mom, Gremlins. I'll be showing you what I got for Christmas, and of course, rounding things out by answering some of your comments and questions in the feedback section. Of course, if you ever want to introduce a future installment of TV3, you can always do so by sending in your video over to my email address over at type3@gmail.com. Alright, let's dive right in. First up in the news is a gold Gundam, but not just any gold Gundam. This is the Gundam Master Grade 3.0 in gold. This is a Gundam base exclusive. There are some strict requirements to get this kit, none of which I know. All I can tell you is that it will be extremely difficult and extremely expensive to get it. But hey, it's plated in gold and it looks very shiny. I'm sure that will appeal to somebody. On the other end of the Gundam spectrum was a surprising reveal, and that is of the HGBF Loheng-Rinko. That's right, it's another Gundam girl, or should I say, Gundam mom. Now this is of course Rinko Iori from Gundam Build Fighters, who you may know as Sei's mom or Queen Thickness. In any case, she has been turned into a Gundam plastic model kit, only she is not based on a Gundam. She is in fact based on the Archangel battleship class from Gundam Seed, and her name is a pun on the positron cannons that would shoot out of her, I suppose, feet. I think this thing is super crazy and super ridiculous, and I absolutely adore what Bandai is going for here. It's sure to piss off a lot of people for just how dumb it is, but I think it's awesome. My favorite thing about this kit is just all the promotional images, because they have her displayed or posed in a seated on her back position as if she is mimicking the shape of the actual battleship. So I just thought that was a really neat touch, but also kind of hilarious to look at because she's wearing like a mini skirt and she's got guns all over her. I've also heard the comment that she definitely resembles a Kantai Collection boat girl, so if that's something you're into, then I'm sure this kit is doing it for you as well. In any case, it's coming out in March for the price of around 2,700 yen, so save up your money because this is going to be a good kit. Since we're on the topic of girls wearing mecha armor, let's move over into the world of Macross, where Aoshima have revealed the full release and price and promotional images of their VFG-31, or their variable fighter girl for Macross Delta. Now, this kit looks pretty great. Of course, I'm going to say that. I've been behind this idea for the longest time. And there's not really too much else to say. I mean, the idea of armoring up an anime girl with recognizable mecha parts isn't a unique idea. It's been around for a couple of years now. However, I do like this one a lot because it's trying to keep the spirit alive of what a Macross fighter is, in the sense that you still get a fighter mode, you get a girl walk mode only with the girl straddling it, and then you get a Batroid mode in the form of the model kit girl has been armored up. And I really am super behind that idea. I think it looks really great. I think this kit looks great. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is what is the actual kit going to look like in hand straight out of the box from a snap assembly. I don't know how much of this is going to be decal work, sticker work, water slides, painting, and I would really love to have a bit more information in that regard. Nevertheless, it looks like we're just going to have to wait out until its release in April for a price of around 5,000 yen. So think master grade. Now, I've also heard the comment that some are a little bit disappointed that they didn't choose a Valkyrie member to be the girl in this model kit. For instance, they didn't choose Freya to be riding the VF-31, and as much as I understand where those people are coming from, I actually really like the fact that they didn't go with an actual cast member from the show. I like the fact that Aoshima went ahead and just decided to make a character, a female anime girl, that I guess captured the spirit or the design aesthetic of the VF-31. I felt like that was a better choice. It seems more representative of the idea they're trying to go for here. So yeah, I look forward to this a lot. Can't wait for April to come around. Now, a couple weeks ago, Good Smile had revealed their Modelroid series, with their first release being, of course, the scaled-down version of Riobot Mazen Kaiser. Well, somehow they are already teasing out their second release, and it is this solo image. And from what I gather, this is the Emperor Mazen Kaiser Universal Warrior type. Now, there are no further details beyond this solo image, but I will say that this samurai-inspired Mazen Kaiser looks super, super cool. I hope that the model kits are equally as great in hand. Next up, we got further reveals from Flame Toys Transformers G1 series of model kits, and these all look great. First up, they showed off Optimus Prime in full colors, and I gotta say, this is one rad looking Optimus. I mean, there's not much I can say that is bad about the design of this Optimus. I love his super anime proportions. He has a giant axe. He's so angular. He just speaks to me. Likewise, it's the same story with their newly revealed version of Starscream. Thin, angular, he's got that mean look to him, he's got some super anime proportions. I love it. The other character they revealed was Bumblebee, and Bumblebee, well, I'm not so hot on Bumblebee. On one hand, I like that he doesn't look super childish, nor does he look like a doofus. But on the other hand, he is super generic robot. I mean, there's really nothing about his design that speaks to me or really jumps out and says, yeah, that's cool. He's got these huge wheels on his shoulders and forearms, and while that does add to, I guess, a little of his own uniqueness, I do think of it as a bit of a lazy design aesthetic. It's like someone just plastered on the wheels because he was just such a boring robot to begin with. But hey, I could be proven wrong once these model kits are in hand, and it goes without saying that I look forward to seeing these when they get released in the coming year. Alright, I think that's enough about model kits for one episode. My last toy that I'm going to talk about is probably my favorite reveal of the past week, and that is none other than Good Smile's Nendoroid D.Va. D.Va, of course, being the Korean gaming sensation superstar that now pilots a mecha from the video game Overwatch. Now, I have to be honest, when this figure was announced, I wasn't necessarily excited for it because I knew that if there was going to be an Nendoroid D.Va, it would always be focused more on D.Va herself rather than her mecha, and that's kind of what we got here. However, I will say that all of her included accessories totally makes her way more appealing. We get a very cute looking version of the character. She's well painted, she looks really great, but it's all the extras she comes with. She has her cell phone so she could do her selfie intro. She's got the heart fingers. She comes with bubble gum, her pistol. She's got the winking face. And to top things off, she even comes with food, her gaming snacks, her not Doritos, her not Mountain Dew sports drink, and I think that's fantastic. And for those of us who really wanted a mecha, she does come with a tiny little articulated pink mecha. Not very detailed, has minimal movement, and it's basically so you can do some cool perspective shots of her jumping out or jumping into the mecha. It's not super exciting in terms of an additional robot thing, but I still think it's nice that it's there. So yeah, on paper, Nendoroid D.Va doesn't necessarily sound like the greatest thing in the world, but I do think Good Smile has done a great job at including really cool accessories to make her much more appealing. So Christmas was this past weekend, and Santa decided to visit me and leave me some neat little presents. And of course, by Santa, I mean somebody decided to go out and buy some toys and wrap them and put them under the tree. And by somebody, I mean I went out and bought myself some toys, wrapped them, and put them under the tree, because that's how I roll. First up, I got the two Dinobots from the first wave of Transformers Powers of the Prime. Powers of the Prime. I don't know what these are called. I got the Wooshy Swoopy Swoopy and the Sludge Slug. So yeah, you know, they're Dinobots. I got them because Dinobots are cool. Not really much else to say on these. I haven't opened them yet, but listen, I don't actually care too much about the Dinobots apart from Grimlock, but because these ones combine, I'm committed to the cause. So it should go as no surprise that I do have the Grimlock, the center torso. This is the only solo toy I'm actually interested in. I've heard lots of great things about this robot mode. I heard the T-Rex mode suffers a lot because it does serve as a torso, as well as being a Voyager class that's just not all that great. But hey, it's Grimlock, and Grimlock has always been a super cool character in my eyes. He's the only Dinobot that matters, and this one's going to combine, so I'm really pumped to see how that's going to turn out. And the last thing I got is this, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy Communicator. I've always wanted one of these when I was a kid. You know, like, I know every kid who loved Power Rangers wanted the Morpher, but I was the one who wanted the watch because it makes that iconic sound, you know? I can't do it for you, but yeah, I've always wanted the watch. I think that's all this toy does, right? It's a metal watch that makes that one deet deet sound, and that's it. It was on sale, so I picked it up. I had a gift card, and yeah, the cool thing about this version is that it is the Mighty Morphin, I guess, original team version. So even though there's red on the bands here, it also comes with the other colors: pink, blue, yellow, black. So in case you want to be a different ranger, I know there's another version of this where it's green and white if you want to be Tommy Oliver, but guess what? Jason was always the best. Jason is my favorite, and he's the Red Ranger. The Red Ranger is always the best ranger. So pretty happy to have this. Don't even know if I'll actually open it because what's there to know? It's one of those things that I'm just gonna put on a shelf and smile at whenever I see it. It's time to answer some questions, and the first one comes from Versus Z2. I know you love posability as much as I do, but do you have a go-to Type V3 dynamic style pose that you tend to put your figures/kits in? That's a good question. I don't think I do. The closest thing that I can think of is I put a lot of my toys in the Revel Tech pose. And by that I mean it's crotch out, feet in an A stance, arms slightly bent at their side, and the chin points slightly downwards. It's like I suppose a sort of tough, I'm like a tough guy, I'm super tough type of pose. If I don't do that, then I'll put them in something very feminine, very sassy, or almost how can I say, the classic pose that you see Figma girls in, where their toes are slightly bent inwards towards one another and they look very reserved. I like putting a lot of my masculine toys in that kind of pose. I just think it's hilarious because I'm a juvenile like that. Bacon Roll, your thoughts on Pacific Rim Uprising? Well, I loved the first one, and based on the trailer for Pacific Rim Uprising, I'll probably like it. It seems a bit more traditional shonen anime-esque in terms of it having like five lead characters, a younger boy, and that's both a good and bad thing. Good in the sense that I'm sure we'll see far more anime tropes just for a fun, good time, but bad in the sense that I don't think it'll gear towards that more, let's say, grittier, darker tone that I would have liked to have seen Pacific Rim go towards. So yeah, I think it can go in either direction at this point. I just want to see it. It probably won't be better than the first one solely for the fact that it doesn't have Idris Elba though. So what can you do? AV3, did you play Super Robot Wars Original Generations, and what robot did you like? I did play Super Robot Wars Original Generations. I played it a long time ago, and I have to say I can't remember anything about those games. I played a lot of Super Robot Wars, especially just the regular mainline releases on the Game Boy Advanced and DS back in high school. And I would say if I had to like a robot, an original robot from the series, I've always loved the Altizen. It was heavy, chunky. It had the claymores in the shoulders, and it also had, oh, I forget what it was called, but it was a spike that was just in one of the forearms, and you just shove that into people and watch them blow up. That was one of my favorite attacks that you could do with that thing. Nicholas Martinez, yo V3, what was your best Christmas gift? Like of all time? Oh, that's tough. I'm not too sure. I mean, I've had a lot of cool things over the years. Um, Thinking back, I guess my mom always got me some really cool stuff. She always supported my toy addiction ever since I was a child. I remember she got me Optimus, the Ultra Class from Beast Wars, Optimus Primal, for one Christmas, and I loved that thing. She also got me Optimal Optimus in one of the subsequent years, which was really cool. One of my favorite toys she ever got me growing up was for Spider-Man, the animated series in 1994. She got me, it was like a Daily Bugle play set, and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I think it also came with a bucket where you could put slime in, or unless that was an add-on feature, I can't really remember. I don't even know where it is, but I remember playing with that thing all the time. It was such a cool toy. And then as I got older, I remember on my first year in high school, she bought me a cell phone because I really wanted a cell phone for Christmas that year, and she got me that. But yeah, those are the top ones that come to my head. immediately. If you meant what was my favorite gift or any cool gift this Christmas, no toys, unfortunately, because no one buys me toys because I'm super picky. But my girlfriend got me some awesome winter boots, which I've been desperately needing. So now I can go on some really cool hikes in the snow and yeah, stay warm, friends. If you're in Canada, stay warm. It's projected to be the coldest winter this year, so stay safe and warm. Do you like the new Star Wars movie? I absolutely loved it. I would say that that is my favorite. The Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. I love Kylo Ren. He's my favorite Star Wars character. I would love to watch a movie with just Kylo Ren. I think I could do it. I think Adam Driver just nails that role. He knows what that character is all about, and I love him. I love that he's just like an angsty. He just wants to be so bad, and he's the best. He's so cool. He's the best. Oh, I love you, Kylo. What is the most unoriginal modern high grade to be released? The Tristan Gundam to me is the pure definition of unoriginality. I think for me, it's the one from Iron Blooded Orphans, the Gundam Bale, the all white one. For me, Iron Blooded Orphans was really cool in the sense that it deviated from traditional Gundam design, but the Bale was the one that I felt, oh, that's just a Gundam. Like that's just a Gundam like we've always seen. It's a heroic looking type. It's got wings and it uses swords. Like it just didn't feel as well realized or in line with what Iron Blooded Orphans did with its designs, and it's why I really like the Barbatos Lupus Rex, why I like the Kumaris Trooper, but the Bale is just what a letdown for a final mobile suit. For me, that was just super boring. And finally, when are you going to review the RG Unicorn? Never. And we've come to the end of another episode of TV3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if there's anything that you wanted me to talk about, or if there's anything I missed, feel free to leave your comment down in the comment section below. Now, seeing as how Christmas just passed, if you did celebrate Christmas and you got some cool toys for it, let me know what you got. I'm always interested to hear what people asked for, and if they ended up getting it under the Christmas tree or whatnot. It's always fun to hear what people were able to wake up to and open in the morning. In any case, New Year's is coming up, so I wish you all a very happy New Year's. If you're going out, remember to party hard and party safe, and come home in one piece. All right then, see you next week.